what is up? My name is Megan and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I hope you guys are doing well and staying safe, and welcome to today's video, which is super exciting because we are talking TBRs for the spooky month. For the occasion, I pulled out my book Babe reading retreat. It's all things fall, you know, because we gotta be cozy. I am not a spooky girl, but I am a spoopy girl. So in today's video, we are going to play my regular game, which if you are new to my channel, hello, how are you? But if I can unfold this, we are playing CANDYLAND Picks My TBR. So essentially I use the CANDYLAND board and have assigned a prompt to each color on the board. I spin the wheel, we move around. Each color corresponds to a different prompt, and that's how I pick my books. If I land on the same color 3 times during a game, I add an extra spin and we start with 5. Usually I add an extra spin if my TBR from the prior month is incompleted, but because I am also playing Becca's Bookoplathon, which I still haven't cut out the whole board, I wanted to put it on like something harder in the back, like cardboard, but we are also playing this during the month, so I'm not going to add more than 5 spins because I will be overwhelmed. That being said, today in this video we are only going to do the first spin for this readathon because I am choosing to spin as I go. So I will be attempting to film 3 or 4 vlogs for this, and each spin that I do additionally will be included in those vlogs. So I will play this last, and obviously my CANDYLAND game first. I will also leave a playlist to CANDYLAND if you want more of it. And without further ado, let's hop on in. I did also want to mention very quickly, this month I actually came out with a calendar of all the October uploads I am attempting to put on my channel for the month, which includes like spooky season things, book reviews, vlogs, book hauls, all the stuff, and is posted on my community page if you want to know what this month is hopefully going to look like. And going forward, it's something I'm going to try to bring to my channel so that you guys know what to expect from me and so that I can hold myself accountable. Those do not include reading sprints because they are a little bit more sporadic, but obviously I'm hoping to have some of them in October. And I am also planning a few extra videos that may or may not go out in October depending on how things go. So just wanted to put that out there. Last month we ended on the lollipop, so that's what we're starting from, and let's go for spin number 1. Spin number 1 is a red. Not moving very far. Spin number 1 brought us to red, which red is an indie published book, and I feel like I haven't gotten that prompt in a really long time, and I am a big fan of indie published things, and so I decided to go with Walk Off Wedding by Maren Moore, which first of all, this cover is stunning. This is the 3rd and I think final book in a companion series, and I actually do have the first 2 books. They were gifted to me by the kindest soul on this entire planet. However, I am specifically going to read this one, and yes, I'm reading them out of order. I am so sorry if it triggers you. I just don't care because they're companion novels. It's not a direct series, and I'm doing so because this has one of my favorite tropes, if not my favorite trope of all time. I mean, that and the roommates trope are for me the best 2 in romance. It is the anonymous pen pals trope, and that in of itself makes my heart go pitter patter. It's also a marriage of convenience, and essentially the main male character starts taking his vows to our female main character very seriously, and so it's a marriage of convenience where they fall in love, but there's also the pen pal elements where I think they didn't know they were each other's pen pals and they're gonna fall in love even harder, I'm assuming, which is gonna like also bring chaos, but I'm so here for it. And just, I know I'm gonna be reading this book like cheesing the whole time because it's just, you can't go wrong with the kind of you've got mail tropes, and it's baseball. I love baseball. I'm so happy, and I think this is the perfect vibes for my current self. Moving on to spin number 2. Moving on to spin number 2. which is Double Blue. Making a little bit more progress. Spin number 2 brought us to a Double Blue, which is a recent purchase. And for that, I decided to go with the Secret Dead Club by Karen Strong, which I have mentioned in my fall TBR, as well as I believe my possible TBR for the Everbloom Academy readathon, which I have hosted in the month of September. The next round is going to be in November, just a mini round. So this is also forgot to mention the Sprinkle of Magic book club pick for October. I wanted a spooky book. I don't have a lot of them on my shelf, so I had to go with a more recent release. But if you are part of that book club, you probably have seen the announcement video anyways, but if not, just know that this is the October pick. This is about a girl who is named Wednesday Thomas, and she can talk to the dead, and the tagline is like, she can talk to the dead, but that doesn't mean she wants to. And I think that this story is basically about this young girl who, in her family, people can talk to the dead until, I guess, they're out of their like younger years, and then when they're adults it kind of stops. And so our main character is just kind of waiting for the day where it will stop, but I don't think it will. And she encounters this ghost, I believe, at school. I think she's going to a new school, and then she meets other people who can also talk to dead people, and they form a club. And I think it sounds like everything I liked in City of Bones by Victoria Schwab, and just so many other fun middle grades. I also have found that the audio is on BookBeat, so for any of you who just want to listen to the audiobook, you can use a free trial of BookBeat. So many creators out here have referral codes. I do not, but I love the service, so if you were looking for the audio, it's on there. Moving on to spin number 3. Let's move on to spin number 3. That was chaotic, but I guess we'll just go with green. Spin number 3 brought us to green, so we're pulling out the book jar. Disclaimer, as I have said for like the past 2 months, I have not time to update it. I have not had the time to update this jar and take out books that I don't own anymore, or I have not added the books I have purchased in recent months. So it might take a few before we get to a book, but nonetheless, let's do this. I don't know what I'm in the mood for. I don't really have any thrillers in mind, so maybe a thriller, though I'm not super in the mood for a thriller. I don't really know. Let's go for this one, which is a book I don't have. I'm so over my jar. Do I still have that book? I do not. Another book that is unhauled. At this point, I'm not even holding the jar and frame anymore. Let's go for this one. Ooh, this I do have, and I think I'm happy. The book in question, and for proof before I show you, which you might have already seen, is Mile High. This is Mile High by Liz Tomford. This was actually another gift from the same friend who gifted me the 2 other books in the Mare and More series. So basically my friend has sponsored my video. This is a romance book, and I don't even remember the tropes for this. I know it's like NHL and a flight attendant, they fall in love. I guess it might be like you're not supposed to because she kind of works for the hockey team, or I don't really know, but I've heard really good things about the series in general, more so with the later books in the series, though I've heard high praise for this, but I feel like The Right Move and like Caught Up and stuff are even more popular. But very excited for this. I am in the mood for romance, and I feel like the blue tones are really coming out this month. So adding this to the TBR, it is a little bit chunkier than I would have liked, but all is fine. Moving on to spin number 4. Moving on to spin number 4, I think I will gently hold it down We got blue again. I don't think we're gonna be able to finish this round, unfortunately for me. Spin number 4 is yet again blue. So if we spin another blue, we might be in a little bit of trouble. But blue again, double purchase. What? Double purchase, recent purchase. And for that, I'm going with a book that's actually coming out in October, and that is the 4th book in the Skandar series, which is beautiful. It's green. I can't wait for it to be on my shelves. It comes out October 10th. And y'all, I'm so excited. If you don't know, I love Skandar. I'm currently hosting a read-along for the series in preparation for book 4. My review for book 2 should be up or will be up very close to when you're seeing this because I've been working really hard on it. I'm just so excited. It is a middle grade series. I have a full review for it, which I'll link in the cards. But yeah, couldn't not put it on my TBR because it's such an anticipated release and it's pre-ordered, so I think it counts. Spin number 5, and what should hopefully be our last spin unless we get another blue. We get yellow. Voila! We're still a little ways to go, so hopefully we can end it next time. Spin number 5 fell on yellow, so we're good. We don't have to add an extra spin, and that is like a special edition. It doesn't have to be like a book box. And I have 2 options for this, and I'm gonna put a poll up in the community tab because I haven't done one of them in a while, at least for like pick a book on my TBR. So the first option we have is Strung Along by Hannah Cohen. This is the signing exclusive. It is a dual perspective novel set in a small town in Alberta, Canada. And it is a rock star, well, country star romance. These are some of my favorites. I love country romances. I love famous people romances. I know a lot of people dislike them. I love. It's up there in my top 5 tropes. So very excited for this. I can't really tell you more than that, but it is, as I said, part of a series. I own the first 2 books, and I really want to journey into Hannah Cohen, so it's a strong one. And the other is Whispers of You by Catherine Cowles? Catherine Cowles, I believe is how you say it, which is part of the Lost and Found series. This is a romantic suspense, and the overlay for this is absolutely stunning. This is the edition from Novel Grounds, and again, it's a dual perspective romance. I just know it's set in another small town, but this one is romantic suspense, which I don't read a lot of, but I really enjoy when I read, and I've heard so many great things from this author. Everybody in the romance community collects her books and her special editions, so I'm feeling like I'm probably missing out on something and will probably become obsessed. So let me know in the comments or go vote on the poll on which of these I should pick for my October reading. Thank you very much. So these, I'll include this because technically Skandar is supposed to be somewhere in there, are my mandatory reads from Candyland for the month of October. Some of you will say, Megan, where is the spooky? And to that I say, we have one spooky book, and that should be enough for me. I do plan on also reading Read, Scream, Repeat, which is a bunch of short story collections together. There's 13 of them, all surrounding the spooky season. I would like to read them in the lead up to Halloween, so that might also be another spooky read, but I don't really have any on my shelves. I would love to get some more. Like, I had a few on my wish list of like mystery kind of spooky middle grade books, but I don't know if I'm gonna bite the bullet and purchase them because I have a lot of books already. Now, before we move into Candyland, I will say there's like 2 or 3 books that I do want to add as like, I may read these or I should be reading these as well, even though they're not on my TBR. One of them is, whoa, I almost hit myself with it, Words of Radiance Part 2 by Brandon Sanderson. This is the part 2 of the 2nd book in the Stormlight Archives. The 5th book in the series comes out in December, and I am trying to read all of the Stormlight Archives for the first time before December so that I can read the 5th book again with the same friend who has gifted me a bunch of books already and who has been helping me through this series. So very much this is a book TBR video inspired by them, clearly. So yeah, this I have the audiobook too, and I need to get a move on because technically while I'm filming this I at least need to catch up to my friend and get to chapter 58, which I'm assuming is before the interludes. Yeah, had to share that with you. So this needs to, it's like a priority. I might even prioritize it over my actual TBR. The other book I want to read is The Last Dragon on Mars, which is a new middle grade book that comes out on October 1st, and I want to read it because I want to make a whole review for it like in the same month it releases. I am so excited for it. It's pitched as a book for fans of Skandar and Aragon, and I think it's going to be incredible. I have the highest of hopes for that one, and so it needs to be included somewhere on my TBR. And another book, which is kind of shocking that I'm including in this, is actually Fourth Wing. I have the like paperback exclusive edition, and I want to try romantasy because I do feel like I am craving that kind of vibe, because I have really been loving fantasy, especially Words of Radiance, and there was just like a tiny little dabble. Chapter 49 of Words of Radiance made my heart soar, and I'm kind of looking for that. Obviously this is not the same level of writing, this is not the same vibe. I'm not comparing Brandon Sanderson to Rebecca Yarros, don't come for me, but I kind of want to feel what I felt in chapter 49 in a fantasy romance. So this is my attempt, because like, why is this so hyped if it's not good? I want to vlog my experience. So yeah, now let's move on to my dice roll for the Bookoplathon. Same as last year, I have no idea where my dice went, so we're just gonna use this to roll the dice. I keep saying spin, and as I said again, also spinning as I go, so let's see. We get 6. Fortunately, we're not starting with a double roll, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Passed. So what I fell on was past, and when I went and referred myself to the guide that Becca put up on her Google Docs, I realized that like past means, I thought at first that it was going to be like read a historical fiction, and I was like, I really do not want to do that. But past means a book that you should have read, or a book in a prior TBR, and for that I'm going to add The Playbook by Rebecca Genchak, which is another indie published romance. This is between a football player and a girl who like receives his fan mail, and at first they don't really hit it off, but I think for some reason they end up fake dating, and it's just like a sports romance as well, so I think they end up falling in love. This is dual perspective. Rebecca can do no wrong. This is her newest release, and I'm just trying to get to it. So I had put this on a TBR prior, did not get to it in my typical fashion, and so we're trying again. So, oh my god. This is my overwhelming TBR as of now, keeping in mind that I will be spinning again once I am done the playbook. And obviously I will try to like mash up my own TBR with Bookoplathon, but it might not work, and I might need to add more books to this ginormous pile. Overall though, I think it really suits the vibe I am in currently, and I'm really excited. So do let me know down below what you guys are reading for the month, what you want to see me prioritize, and if you're excited for my October calendar of uploads. And I'll see you very soon with another video. Bye guys, happy reading.